September is National Prostate Cancer Screening Month, and as always, the message to men is to get screened. Well, this year, the American Cancer Society is projecting close to 250,000 newly diagnosed cases of prostate cancer, with close to 35,000 deaths.
Yeah, if you didn't know it, prostate cancer is highly treatable when caught early, but unfortunately, too many men are reluctant to get screened, particularly men of color. So joining us with more this morning is Dr. Edward Schaeffer. He's the chief of urology at Northwestern Medicine. His patient, who was also kind enough to join us on this Labor Day, is Dwayne Everett. Gentlemen, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Doctor, let's start with you. This is a disease we're very familiar with in my family. Prostate cancer took the life of my grandfather, wasn't detected until after it had spread to his brain. So why are so many men, in your opinion, reluctant to getting screened?
Yeah, I think men are scared. They're hesitant to reach out to their physicians and ask simple questions and share their own personal health histories with their physicians. And so, as you mentioned, we always advocate for men to open up about their family history. And by doing so, they can highlight potential areas of need for those individual patients to be screened for things like prostate cancer and other cancers, for example.
Now, Dwayne, I understand you went a prostatectomy a few years ago at Northwestern. What do you want other men to know about your experience?
My experience was great. Like Dr. Schaeffer said, I think the most important thing is to get screened early. I'm actually got diagnosed at the age of 46, and I had the robotic surgery, and the recovery was great. I'm back to normal. That was 4 years ago. And like I said, early detection is everything. I actually was at like a stage 0 to 1 when I was detected. It did not spread outside of my prostate, so very happy about that, and back living a normal life. And the recovery was probably like about a month.
Well, good for you. Good for you, Dwayne. Doctor, there's a saying, cancer doesn't discriminate, and yet more black men die from prostate cancer than do white men. Why is that?
Yeah, we don't have a great understanding of it. We do think that there is a genetic component of that, meaning men of West African ancestry are at a higher risk for being diagnosed with prostate cancer, and those cancers appear to be more aggressive. So a lot of research in that area. And then additionally, we know that lifestyle, what individuals eat and how they behave, smoking, et cetera, can also affect one's risk for being diagnosed with and potentially dying from prostate cancer. But the good news is that the data suggests that if you do screen and you screen early, that you can pick up these cancers while they remain curable. So what I always emphasize, and Dwayne and I talk about a lot, is that it's a shared decision-making process between the patient and the doctor.
Well, doctor,
so we don't just do things to people because we think they should have a screening test. We have a discussion with the patient, say, hey, you're an African-American man, you have a higher risk of cancer. Let's talk about doing the screening tests. And if there's agreement that that makes sense for that individual person, then we do the test, and that begins the process, which can have a very positive effect for men.
We're almost out of time, but I don't think we can have this discussion without talking about the controversy surrounding the PSA test. A lot of men have been told, well, maybe it's not the most accurate. Even the doctor who came up with the PSA test said he felt like it was being used too much. What do you want men to know about the latest screening techniques and what they should do?
Yeah, great question. So it is a shared decision process between the patient and their doctor. So they should talk about, hey, I'm 50-year-old African-American guy. Should I get the test? Yes or no? And it's a decision that the patient and the doctor make together. If you make that decision together, then the test has proven to be highly accurate and effective. So random checks on people who don't want it or don't need it, that's where we run into trouble.
Good stuff. Well, gentlemen, thank you, Dr. Edward Schaeffer and Dwayne Everett. Dwayne, we're glad to hear that you're doing well.
Absolutely.
And thank you both. Again, it's Labor Day. We appreciate you coming on this morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.